Just because you didn't tag out during the rut doesn't mean it's time for you to hang up your gear. The post-rut and second rut offer some great opportunities to get on your target buck. I'll explain why. The post-rut is the period after the rut, and bucks have been going on and on for a long period of time, and when you've been on that grind, you're gonna need, you guessed it, a rest. So if you really think about it, bucks are going to be looking for food because they're going to be hungry. They're going to be looking for water because they're going to be thirsty. And they're going to be looking for some beds because they're going to be sleepy. So that's the post-rut. Now, if you know, in New Jersey now, not all areas have this, but most areas do. And that is called the second rut. Yes, there's another rut coming up. And the second rut is when those that haven't been bred, and also the yearling does, go into estrus, and you'll see that rut magic happen again. It's usually in the North Jersey area, the New Jersey area. It's around December 8th to December 12th. And that coincides right in with 6-day firearm. The state timed it just perfectly. What are some strategies that you can utilize to get on your target buck? So let's go over the post-rut first. Post-rut, like I just explained, you have bedding, you have food, you have water. Those are the three things that those big bucks are going to be concerned about. They lose about 30 to 40% of their body weight. They're going to be scarred, they're going to be bruised, they're going to be battered. And you never know. Some bucks are they're going to try to pick out that one doe, and they don't want to give their hopes up. But you know, they're going to shift their focus back onto that food source. What you want to do in the morning, if you're going to hunt the morning, go in and hunt the beds. It's an aggressive hunt. Go and hunt the beds. Don't go directly right into the beds, but see if you can find some buck bedding areas or a corridor where they're coming back from food to the bedding area in the morning. If you're going to hunt the afternoon, this is where you want to hunt food. This is where you want to hunt water. And you want to get on a food source, corridor to food source, whether it's soybean, whether it's alfalfa, whether it's winter wheat, whether it's clover. That is what you want to be doing. And let me tell you something, this is the optimal strategy to get on your target deer, because they're going to be want to hit the food. Now, morning, you could also hunt water source, hunt a swampy area. But in the afternoon, I would hunt more clear cuts, field edges, and whatnot. Let's go over in the post-rut. You want a mobile stand, get a saddle, get a climber. If you haven't seen it already, look at our saddle recommendation. We're going to post a link in the description below, as well as the link in the comments below. And this is an opportunity. Now, the odds aren't going to be as high as in the pre-rut and during the rut. But from my experience, if you're going to get a big buck, a BBD, that means big buck down. Big buck down. If you're going to get one of those, this is what you need to do. And that's where I want to go into front. This is where when it comes to strategy, when to hunt, weather plays a huge key. Weather will get the bucks on their feet. So what type of weather are we talking about? We are talking about anything below 32 with the frost, the freeze. I gotta go sit in the stand and get my hand muff on and cold. And we also want to talk about post-front hunts. That means after the front, not before the front. So when I say about front, a storm comes in. Okay, so when you have a storm coming in, you're going to want to have your barometric pressure, and this is how they tell you. You're going to see it. Okay, say it's at 30. It's going to drop. When that storm hits, it's going to drop. Maybe go down to 29. And then after that storm goes, the post, you want to hunt after. This is the period, this is the golden period. Day after the storm, that barometric pressure is going to rise to 30, 31. That is when that gets bucks on their feet. And trust me, you want to be in the woods. Just because you haven't gotten your target buck yet doesn't mean it's time to hang up your gear. The post-rut and the second rut offer some great opportunities for you to land your target buck. And I'm going to explain why. Now, the post-rut is, you guessed it, that's the period after the rut. That's the period after all the magic happened. So what are 3 things during the post-rut that these bucks that have been grinding, that have been rolling for the past few weeks, what are they going to be most concerned about? They're going to be concerned about food because they're going to be hungry. They're going to be concerned about water, so water source, because they're going to be thirsty. And they're going to be concerned about, you guessed it, they're going to be concerned about bedding because they're going to be sleepy. So yes, post-rut, your odds are going to be lower, a lot lower than during the pre-rut and the regular rut. However, utilize some of these strategies and you have a good plan in place, you could take advantage of the post-rut. The post-rut, in the morning, you're going to want to hunt bedding, buck bedding, or a corridor going in from food source to bedding, because that's what they're going to want to hit. They're going to want to be getting some thick cover, thick briar, thick brush, and they're going to want to just lay. They're tired. They lost 30 to 40% of their body weight, and deer feed 5 times in a day. After they're going to take their nap, this is when that noon hunt is going to pay dividends. What you want is a mobile setup. I'm going to post a link in the description below of our recommended saddle. We did a video on this year. This saddle is amazing. It's light, it's quick and easy to set up. Go watch it in the description. We're going to post it in the description below, as well in the comments below. You're going to want a mobile setup, either a climber or a saddle. From the bedding source, you want to go from that noontime to the afternoon. You want to hunt a water source. You're going to be thirsty. So if you hit on the water source, especially this time, if you have a creek, you have a pond, a stream, or even have artificial water, that's what you want to get on. Now, for the afternoon hunts, you want to hunt a food source. So if you're allowed to bait in your state, hunt your bait. If not, soybean, clover, alfalfa, winter wheat, anything you want to be more concerned on the field edges or in a funnel that's leading to food where you catch your target buck slipping, and that is going to be key to be successful. But the post-rut, this is when you as a hunter is going to have to grind. Now it's also rifle season in some states started already. Muzzleloader starts this time, the Monday after Thanksgiving. It's a 2-day muzzleloader season, but that's what you want to be doing for the post-rut. So in the morning, let's go over this. In the morning, you want to be hunting bedding. So thick cover, thick briar, thick brush, that's what you want to be hunting, or a travel corridor from food to bedding. And then in the afternoon, you want to be either hunting water or you want to be hunting the food source. You get that first frost, that will sweeten up all the food sources, and they love the sweets. Deer love sweets. They have a nice sweet tooth. The second rut is most areas do have this. Not all do, but most do. And in New Jersey, that falls around December 8th to December 12th. And as you guessed it, it's a second rut. There's a second rutting period. And how does this happen? So the second rut is when does that haven't been bred in the first rut, about 28 days later, they go into estrus again, and then you'll have a rutting period. Also, the yearling does that didn't go into estrus they'll pop into estrus. So what you really want, if you manage a property, if you have private land, kind of want a quick second rut to happen because of the survival. And I'll do another video describing that. Basically, what goes on when the regular does, the mature does are bred this late in the year, the fawns drop a month later. Now, the yearling does, they don't go into estrus the first time, that first rut. They'll go into estrus in the second rut. So if you just have the yearling does going to estrus, that's really optimal. That's what you want. But if you have a lot of mature does going to estrus, that's not a good sign in your property. You're going to have to do some maintenance. In the second rut, like I said prior, this is where the magic happens again. This is where you should hunt like it's the rut. Bring out your rattlers. You want to bring out your grunt tube. You want to bring out your doe and estrus. You want to bring out your estrus can. This is also when you want to use scents. And the scent we recommend using is Hot to Trot by Rackgetter. Also, Rackgetter just released their new Platinum. This is a great product. Now, leading up to that first week of December, you might actually see some scrapes get active again. So it wouldn't be a bad idea to hunt the first week of December on those scrapes, and then the second week in December, go and hunt doe bedding. Get aggressive. This is your last hoorah of the rut, and you want to go into the thick beds and thick cover and see if you're going to have a buck try to pick out a doe. And then you want to do that in the morning time. Now, what I've seen in the second rut, food becomes a little bit more prominent than in the first rut, because not only are the bucks are still tired. Listen, they're not fully recharged and rejuvenated from their first hoorah, the first go time around. They're still going to be looking at food sources. Those are going to be looking at food sources because guess what? They're gearing up for winter time. Now, the second rut, you want to make sure that you are warm, you are good to go. And I can't stress that enough, that you dress appropriately during the second rut, because these are when those all-day sits are going to pay off. Pack a sandwich. Now, that doesn't mean weather doesn't play a front. Of course, weather plays a front, just not as much. You still got that rut priority that's going to trump. But also, food source in the afternoon becomes a little bit more important. You also have, right prior to the second rut, the scrapes are going to turn active again. You're going to see that on camera. Okay, so utilize your scents, utilize the calls. That means the grunt tube, the estrus can, a little light rattling. And trust me, second rut, it offers a great opportunity in 6-day firearm. I've seen a lot of great bucks. The buck my dad shot, that 10-pointer, that was a second rut buck, muzzleloader during 6-day firearm. I'm Travis Maragliata from Team Buffalo Outdoors. If you haven't yet, make sure you click that like button, click that subscribe, post a comment of your opinion, where you'd be hunting this post-rut and second rut in the comments below. And I want to hear some of your strategies. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.